Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, friend and colleague from Vietnam, from Philippines, from Indonesia, and especially our friend and colleagues from the Royal Government of Cambodia and the civil society in Cambodia. I have very great honor on behalf of the organizing committees. We have the Cooperation Committee for Cambodia, CCC, Transparency International Cambodia, TIC, Sri Lanka, KYA, and the API, Advocacy Policy Institute. This organization, I would like to also invite these people to stand up because the reason we have here, because of all of us were invited by the government of Indonesia and the government of Philippines. We used to attend the Bali conference on OGP, Open Government Partnership in Bali. So please stand up to show yourself as the CSO champion who believe in the OGP. So please stand up. We have so the important reasons of having the workshop today and tomorrow is because of our CSO leaders who've been invited by the governments of Indonesia, the government of Philippines. Also, I myself also invited to join the daylight events in the Philippines, and also invited by ADB headquarters Philippines to learn how the OGP principle as well as the operation and practice is happening in these two countries. So from this, one of the major reasons I have learned that the Royal Government of Cambodia is in the reform process, especially in the fifth mandate. The Prime Minister has announced publicly that we need to deeply reform the country. So that's why OGP is one of the best tools, I believe, that can contribute to effectively reform the countries, especially on the particular field where the OGP has specialized on. The third important thing we believe in OGP is that the OGP, of course, is stand like this. The OGP means Open Government Partnership, but the full meaning is to ensure that we have a transparent, accountable, responsive, innovative, and effective government for the citizens. But I have learned a lot of benefits. To me, I come up with a very specific belief with the acronyms I call TREES. TREES mean to me like, first, T stands for trust. OGP is a tool that builds trust among different sectors, especially build trust between civil society and governments. Second, the word OR is to promote reputations. And I, and also civil society in Cambodia, would like to see Cambodia as a champion country in the region in promoting open government. So Cambodia would be recognized by international community and the country as a champion in promoting OGP, following with Philippines and Indonesia. The word E, I also believe, is to have the equitable, ecological, and economical sustainable development in this country. So the OGP is very important. We cannot avoid to implement in this country because it builds trust, it builds reputation, it builds equitable, ecological, economical, sustainable development. The witness of your participation today from different stakeholders, government, civil society, and I also have learned that from private sectors in this room, have indicated that you all consider as a reformist to reform the country for better development in the future. And I think it is the right time for all of us to work together with the government, with private sectors, and civil society. And if these three stakeholders work together, I can count a lot of difference will be made. I just learned from theory that if we put number one as the horizontal words, or as the vertical, you might not have seen the different values, just only one. If we put number one as a horizontal word, you can see just put one together, it makes different value from 1 to 11. So if government and civil society work together, we put 1 together as the 11, the value 11. So we change the value number 1 to value 11, just in some minutes. So that's why we, civil society, believe that OGP promote inclusive partnership, promote the value to have a sustainable development for the countries. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as our moderator today mentioned that the purpose of the workshop today, we would like to disseminate the values and the mechanisms and the goal and the communities, the governments and civil society on the OGPs, as well as to share best practices from our colleagues from different countries, Philippines, Indonesia, and other countries, including Vietnam, also come to this country also to learn and also to share amongst us. And our champion CSO leaders here and also government from different ministries in this room also would like to share the best practices that have been done so far. I understand that the word OGP is quite new to all of us in this room, especially civil society and also maybe the government in this room. But the principle of OGP, I think, is not new. Because the principle is promoting accountability, transparency in the world deals, as well as the good governance, budget transparencies, etc., etc. So it's not new to us, and our government has been doing several decades. And we already meet those criteria. We have the anti-corruption law in place. Now the government also in the process developing the right to information laws. And the Ministry of Interior developed the social accountability framework, which is empowering the community to have participate in the development process of the government. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Economic and Finance also developed numbers of laws, including procurement laws, finance law, budget law, and also government has the national audit authorities. So if looking at the criteria and the eligible criteria of the OGPs, I think our government has done a lot, and we should recognize and appreciate this effort. So for today's workshop, we can learn how the current practices of Cambodian government and civil society, where we are now, and what area where we can improve by learning from different best practices from different countries in the region. So I hope government of Cambodia will be ready to meet all the eligible criteria to become a member of OGP. So I think without further ado, for this session, I would like again to extend my sincere thanks to the Excellency Richard Moya, who's traveling quite also long from the Philippines. I hope your trip did not make the typhoon. And also thanks to Alex, a representative from Ford Foundation, Alham from Transparent International Indonesia, and our colleagues from different countries, from Philippines, Indonesia, and especially our representative, government representative from the Royal Government of Cambodia, from the Ministry of Education, Health, CDCs, Ministry of Interior, and also from National Assembly. And also thanks to our development partners who are coming from different, like USAID, ADB, and many others in this room. And also thanks to our whole organizing committee who've been very active in supporting this movement, especially to have this workshop happening. I think this workshop will be running smoothly and produce a very good result as what we expect. And also thanks to our colleagues, CC colleagues who've been supporting both logistics, content as well as the media communications. And but last but not least, also thanks to our translator who tried to bring all of us in this room to better understand each other. So again, thank you very much, and I wish all of you have good health and prosperity and become a millionaire. And also wish the workshop today and tomorrow successfully. Thank you so much.